Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to get started on my Kenwood KX-1100G. I figured since I just did the 880 a couple of weeks ago, maybe this is a good time to do it. Also, there are things going on in my private life that are making it very hard for me to sleep lately, so if I sound a little weird today, it's because I'm shooting this at 4:30 in the morning. I've got no other good time to do this, so I'm going to do something that I think will be fairly easy and straightforward to do because there is likely not a lot of talking I'll need to be doing on this one. Now, as you can see, since the video on the 880 in which we actually diagnosed this deck, it's got a lot of transport-related issues that we have to deal with. You can see that I have done a lot of cleaning on this. Simple Green to the rescue, what can I say? And also Windex. I thought that this window up top here was going to need to be replaced, but as I'm looking at it now, it cleaned up perfectly, so I guess I don't have to worry about that now. Anyway, today all I'm planning to do is capacitors, because that's going to be fairly easy. All the little brown Eldas in there have to go. They can't be saved. You know why? Because that one shorted out and failed in the 880 and caused the whole deck to go dead. So I have no trust for Elna at this point in time, so I'm going to go ahead and recap everything today. And I've decided what I'm going to do for the audio chain is to go ahead and use the green special parts everywhere. That way I can tell them apart from everything else, and I don't have to spend too much mental energy trying to figure out which parts I recapped and which parts I didn't and whatnot. But you can see here, I've got a bunch of stuff out of the 880 already. These are the capacitors I used in it, and they will be going into this deck now, as well as the line in and line out jacks, because the center screw hole in the deck that it has now is stripped out, so I can't actually tighten that screw anymore. So I will be fixing that problem today. And this deck is one of the decks I bought the 880 for parts for, but it's not the only one I bought it for parts for, if that makes any sense. I've got a special project in mind for the 880, and we'll get to that as soon as the other stuff I need for that project gets here. But we're going to do this one today, so let's strap it in and get going. But first, a short update on the Aiwa XK-009. I've decided to replace both of the belts in there with the PRB belts. I've gone with an FRSP 8.97 for for Intercapstan use, and FRSP 9.6 for the main drive, and that has brought the wound flutter down to 0.035%, and it has also fixed the recording issues I was having with it not erasing properly because it had poor Intercapstan tension. Turns out the Fix Your Audio belt was slightly too wide, or too long, however you want to call it. It was 9.1 or 9.2 inches internal circumference, and like I said, those decks are extremely picky. So I've gone with the PRB stuff, and it's very happy with those, and I'm just trying to figure out whether or not I want to record Vaporwave on it yet, or if I want to wait for the modifications. But in the meantime, since the D980M still has issues with the with not being able to record, and I can't do any Vaporwave tapes with that, I'm going to get this one going to do Vaporwave tapes with this. So let's get started, shall we? So, if you don't want to go check out my KX-880 video, where I probably didn't do a good enough job of explaining it anyway, I will tell you how to get into one of these to do some service. First, top cover comes off. Next, front cover comes off. From there, you can get the transport out, and of course you have to do the usual thing by removing the door in order to get the front off, but that's how that works. In order to get the circuit board out to do any actual service on it, what you have to do is you have to take the back panel off, couple more screws up in the front here that hold the the front panel and circuit board to the rest of the deck, and then you just kind of swivel it out of the way, which is a pain, but it's what you got to do on one of these. And then if you have to do any work to the circuit board behind the front panel here, you have to pop the stop button off. There's instructions on how to do that in the service manual, but there's a couple of little holes underneath. You put a screwdriver into, and it releases the claws, and then you can take the stop button out. At least I'm assuming it's the same way for this as the 880. That's how it was for the 880. But anyway, enough talk. Let me get started. I got a lot of work to do, and I got to stop talking immediately. All right, folks, I'm midway through the disassembly process, and I just wanted to mention a couple of things. Not too much different about getting the transport out on this one. You can see it's already out. There was an extra connector here, easily removed, or maybe that wasn't extra. Maybe the 880 also had that, but I don't know. Anyway, just wanted to give you a look at the carnage back here. The actual jack assembly has been completely destroyed on this one. And it's a shame I can't save this because these are gold plated, but I don't think it's going to matter too much if I just get rid of these for traditional stuff. But I wanted to mention that there is a extra ground wire here that is now broken. They have it attached to this stupid screw back here, and I found this out the hard way because I started unscrewing on that and it pulled this right out. So I am going to have to fix that now if I can figure out where it went. But I will do that by and by. Anyway, I will continue. All right, folks, feast your eyes. It's all done. Got a bunch of pretty new green capacitors here. These were all polarized, but I'm going to bet right now that it's probably not going to matter if I do non-polar there. I decided I wanted to try it with this deck, so I'm trying it. This is the playback amp board here. As you can see, everything's been done here. And in general, the entire deck has been recapped except for the capstan motor. More new caps there, new caps there, new caps everywhere. This is the only place where I went with the actual polarized stuff because these are the Dolby boards here. One's for encoding and one's for decoding, so I thought maybe they would appreciate the polarized ones. And also I went polarized around the headphone amp because it's not quite so critical to me. But other than that, it all went well. You can see the new power supply parts here. This is supposed to be 220 microfarads at 50 volts. All I had was 330. I don't think it's going to matter, so we'll just let it be. Now the bad capacitors are right over here. And they are bad. Significantly more of them were bad in this deck than the KX-800, including the main filter cap, which is out of tolerance. I think it's somewhere around 30% at this point, but these are all ranging from anywhere from more than 20% out of spec to more than 50% out of spec. And the 100 microfarad parts were especially bad. I don't know if that's one of them. No, but some of these are high ESR, some of these are out of tolerance, all of them are bad. So if you've got one of these, plan on getting rid of all these brown Elnas, because they're no good. I'm just going to say that right now. And the entire deck had them, so fully a recap had to be done. And I decided not to use the parts I used in the KX-800. I decided last minute to go ahead and do the good Panasonic FR parts everywhere. I could get away with it. So these are FR, these are FR, this is FR. And yeah, I just used them everywhere as long as I had them. So it is time to do the transport on this. Sorry folks, I'm still really tired. Still trying to catch up on my sleep from all the stuff that was happening around here earlier this week, but starting to catch up on sleep, feeling a little better. Anyway, this transport is exactly the same well, almost exactly the same as the Yamaha KX-1000 we did earlier this year. So this transport service will not be done on camera, at least to the extent that I did the KX-1000. I will be doing highlights. That's all I will be doing, though. In terms of some of the differences with that transport, this one's got a gear drive set up for the idler. So that's one change. Plus there's the direct drive motor on this one. The Yamaha doesn't have that, but this can be adapted to the Yamaha, I do believe. With that being said, I have decided I'm going to try to keep the direct drive motor in this one, and that's because we're going to quartz lock this motor. There's a modification over at Tapeheads that someone has come up with where you just replace the FG servo circuit on this board with a PLL quartz circuit that's located elsewhere in the deck, or will be located elsewhere in the deck. His modification had everything up to including a brand new circuit board on the motor, but I don't have the ability to do that, so my PLL circuit's going to be off the board somewhere else. And that somewhere else is probably going to be back in here because there is tons of space to do that in this deck. That's another reason why I wanted to do that in this deck first. Now this motor circuit here I have already determined is identical to what's used in the single capstan models of this transport, like the KX-800. You can quartz lock them as well. Moreover, I have determined also that the TIAC direct drive motors in the single capstan decks are the same motor, so I can now quartz lock all the TIAC decks I have as well, except for maybe the R999X. I don't know what's in that one yet, but won't know about that one for a while because that deck has a lot of problems. I fired it up for the first time and it's not even passing signal from the source monitor circuit, so that deck has big problems. I think it's going to be bigly challenging to service. So other things I'm planning to do on this deck, the two motors will not be serviced. I know they need it, but I have replacements for this reel drive motor. I'm going to be putting a new one in there. I am not going to rebuild this one for this video because it's a little bit too much work for me at this point this week. What I will do instead is I will replace this and I will put this off to the side for servicing later. And then for the control motor, I still have my perfectly serviced motor from the BX1 parts deck. That one will be going in here, and then I will service this one for a future deck. That is how that one will go. So yes, I'm about to get started here. I'll show you highlights, that's all I will show. One more little thing before I get started the transport service. If the heads in the Kenwood are bad, this deck is going to provide heads for it. I don't know if it'll work because it's a Yamaha, but I can't really think of any other good use for that deck right now. The KX-1000 is a far better deck than that one. I can't sell it because of the PC board damage on the power supply, so I might as well use the heads for something if I need heads for something.
$1985. 92 KTU, New York's music station. We just want to play your favorite song. Call 955-9292 now. Help us put together another music marathon. The music marathon coming soon. New York's music station. 92 KTU.
Okay, now at 6:10, listen for that Madonna medley. Big caller 8 when you hear it, and you win a pair of tickets to her Spectrum concert. Wednesday, the Virgin Tour comes to Philly. studio guest, live and in person, Morris Day, sometime between 2 and 6 Friday, here on Detroit's number one, Z95.5.
Okay, I think I'm about done for the day. I'm feeling terrible, so I need to stop for the day and pick up tomorrow, so I will. I think what I'll do tomorrow is well, there's actually not much left to do. I have to pull the Backtension assembly off and clean out the old melted belt goo that's in there. Probably not going to be much. Actually, I might be able to even do it from here. Yeah, I can see the belt goo, and I think maybe I can clean it from in place here, but I may take it apart, I may not. I'll just show you, though, there is an adjustment for back tension on these. What you do is you clock this spring here to a different location, or a different position. You can see that there's steps to this little gear here that allow you to adjust this. So that's what that does. Didn't have too many troubles with the rest of the transport. Obviously, I had to take the capstan motor all the way back off again just to get that little spacer in for the brake assembly. I knew something was missing when I got in there, but whatever. I'm rather confident the real motor is going to work. I'm rather confident the replacement control motor is going to work from the Nakamichi, but we'll find out if I've got them wired backwards later. The old capstan belt is serviceable, but it's too stretched to use, so I just went ahead and replaced it. It's about 9.1 inches in internal circumference now, or 9.2, and it should be 8.97 like the one that's in there now. So I'm happy with the one that I installed, even if I now am down one more FRSP 8.97. It's fine, I have got plenty of them, and I've gotten some more on order, so I'm not worried about it at all. Anyway, I think I've got just about all of this done now. Of course, you have to take the eject interlock off in order to even get the capstan motor off on these direct drive models, but whatever. It's nothing I wasn't ready for, so whatever. All right, folks, before you put the reel tables back into one of these Kenwoods, check and make sure that the brake shoe is in place, because on this one it kind of fell off, so I'm going to have to reinstall that. Thankfully, I don't have to take out the back of the plate with the reel motor. on it to do this, but it's kind of aggravating nonetheless. Check your brake shoes. Just coming back to this on another day, and I wanted to make a real quick announcement before we finish up the rest of this transport. I have decided to change my strategy with regards to the home theater. The weather has gotten too bad too quickly in order for me to proceed any further with it until springtime. So I have decided to put that off until, well, springtime, when the weather's nicer. I have all the components I need to build the front stage speakers, the left, center, and right, except for the wood and the crossovers. And that's where it's going to have to sit until springtime. I have done some stuff off camera since the last segment I showed on camera, because the phone kind of died and I just didn't feel like stopping at that point. So I will tell you what I did. First, you can see that the new belt is already on the Backtension pulley here. And I should also tell you that it is possible to actually clean this without taking the wheel off. I didn't really want to mess with that spring if I absolutely didn't have to, so I didn't. Basically what you can do is, if you've got pipe cleaners like this one, you can just kind of feed it up through and wrap it around like so, and then just kind of drag it back and forth to clean it that way. But that didn't get all of it off, so what I did was, from there, I pulled a bunch of fuzzy stuff off the Q-tip, or off a Q-tip, and I got my tweezers, and then I just kind of went in there and just scrubbed the little fine spots that I didn't catch with the pipe cleaner. Worked out pretty great, so happy with that. The other thing I did off camera was I was looking at my my new motor back here, and I just kind of realized all of a sudden that I had not actually serviced this. I think what I did was I just pulled it off the BX1 and just tossed it in storage and forgot about it. So had to do that last night around 6 o'clock in the evening. But it went well. In fact, I'm starting to get real good at servicing these motors, so I'm very happy with the way it turned out. And apparently so is the deck, because I had this back in the deck just for testing to see how it was working, and no problems whatsoever. It likes the new reel motor. It likes the new control motor. Everything's working good there, so very happy about that. Now, as for what we're doing today, there's actually not much left to do here. I gotta degauss the heads and the capstans. Can't forget to do that. I gotta do the pinch roller service. I gotta check the alignment with the alignment gauge. And that's probably about it, I think. I'm going to wait on recording tests to see if this needs polishing, but I'm not going to do it right now. I think it's clean enough. It looks like it's clean enough, but we'll find out for sure later. Now, when it comes to the entry guide height on this side, it's adjustable through this little teeny tiny screw here. See if I can zoom in on it. So the way they have this designed is you can take this pinch roller off without having to worry about this adjustment. But like I said, I'm going to check it with the gauge anyway, just to make sure it's proper. And yeah, I have to clean this as well, this little switch here. Oh yeah, that's the other thing I did off camera, was I cleaned all three of these. I used this stuff I keep forgetting I have, which I kind of need a bigger can of, I think, if I'm going to keep using it, because the fluid just comes jetting out of this thing. Even at the low setting, it gives you too much fluid, so I guess that's their way of making you buy more of the stuff, but whatever. Alright, now, I'm not going to bother firing up the test bench receiver to do music again. We're just going to go ahead and just do the remaining stuff on camera here. So let's get to it. I'm real sick today, so I need to get this done early so I can go lie down or something. Oh yeah, and the other thing we need to do is apply damping grease in here, because the door kind of slams open on this one. In fact, why don't we do that now? I got it right here. 300,000 weight silicone oil. So we'll see if this works. I'll just goop some on my dental pick here. Comes out like a good poutine cheese curd. Pretty much. I'll just goop some in there and hope that does the job. That should be all I need to do there, and I'll find out the hard way if I don't need to do, or if I need to do more later. Actually, you guys, I'm not sure about the condition of this pinch roller. It's not real hard, but it's, I don't know. Let's clean it up real quick and see just how bad it is. One Kim wipe, and we'll get the acetone because this is not going to respond to anything else. I can tell you that right now. It may respond to rubber renew, but if it's so far gone that it needs rubber renew, I'd rather replace it. So let's see if it cleans up and gets grippy again. Otherwise, it will get replaced. I dropped it. Give me a second here. I will find it again. But my initial impressions are not salvageable on this particular occasion. Okay, so I found the little brat. It's right here. And yeah, this one's getting replaced. Which means both of them are getting replaced because, well, the other one is salvageable, I think. It's just this one is not. So, but with that in mind, because I'm replacing one, I'm going to replace them both, and I will save this one. This one's getting trashed because it's no good. Can't save it without turning it on a lathe or something, and I do not have a lathe. So, what do we got here? $10.7 millimeters, that means it's an 11 mm roller. 7.8, that means 8 millimeters this way. And then the shaft is going to be the usual 2 millimeters, I'm sure. Yes. 11 by 8 by 2, and what's this one? It's going to be the same 8 millimeters depth. Yes. And that's a 13, so yeah. Standard dual capstan pinch roller stuff. Let me go find them. I know I've got replacements. Well, folks, after a very frustrating search through my parts bin, I have only got one Fix Your Audio roller left, brand new for the take-up side on one of these things. And conversely, I've only got two new ones for the take-up side. So, yeah, this other one here is an old roller that I kept. It's good enough to keep, but I didn't want to install it in the deck I took it out of for whatever reason. So what I'm going to do is I found these. These are the original pinch rollers from my Akai, or my A&D GXZ-9100. So I'm going to try to use these for this transport. They should be identical. In fact, I'm 100% sure they're identical and that they will work, because I didn't actually need to replace them on that deck, but because of the dollar amount I paid on it, well, I don't know. This one doesn't seem any better than the one I took off this thing. I might have to get into the Fix Your Audio roller anyway. Great. Wonderful. All right, folks, here is the score. I was able to save the supply side pinch roller from the GXZ-9100. It's fine. It's almost brand new, in fact, the way it feels. So that one will work. On the take-up side, I have no choice but to use an actual brand new Fix Your Audio roller. None of the used ones I pulled out of that package were any good, including the original from the KX-9100. That one, I couldn't save it. It's just too far gone. It's all cracked and whatnot. So I've got the two best rollers this deck's going to get from here. And I've only got one roller on the take-up side and one on the supply side left from Fix Your Audio before I'm completely out of rollers. So I'm going to have to do a pinch roller order. But just let me get these installed, and we'll pick back up on Wednesday with testing and such. I'll get the door on and everything before then. Alrighty then, shall we test our Kenwood and see how good it is? I decided to go ahead and put everything back together, which obviously means I'm going to have to fight it 17 more times. But maybe this will be the one time that it's different, and I don't have to get back in there for some cotton picking reason or something. Anyway, let's see what we got here. She's fired up and running. Door still slams open. This is unfortunately because the damping grease wasn't enough by itself. The O-ring in there has to be replaced, and I just don't have any O-rings because I can never find that size at a hardware store. I do have some on order from AliExpress now, so hopefully I'll have plenty of those for future decks. I ordered like 50 of them, so let's just see what we got here. I notice this transport doesn't go forward and backward to take up the slack, so I don't know, it's a little bit less sophisticated than a Nakamichi deck would be using this same transport. In fact, the BX-300 uses the same transport as this, so it would be nice if Kenwood had implemented that, but whatever. I see chrome is being selected properly there. Let's see what we can do with this, or what it does, or whatnot. Rewind. Fast forward, play, and we've got audio over there. So I'll shut it off for a second, and I'll turn on the test bench receiver. There we go. Got to learn how to use my own test bench receiver again, I guess. Anyway, it seems to be working fine. Yes, working very well. I'm happy. Very nice. I'm very happy with it so far. Let's pull the test tape out. I'm going to shut off the receiver again. And I want to check the take-up torque and back-tension torque, just to see where we're at on this particular model. See if I have got to get in there to adjust that little spring or whatever. Alright, we got 40 take-up and 8 back tension. That's actually probably good enough. Not exactly sure what the spec is, but I'm rather accustomed to these numbers being normal for dual capstan decks like this. So happy with the torque, happy with the way the transport's working. So let's get a blank tape in here, like thus. And I want to check the calibration here. I don't know exactly how to do it on this deck, so bear with me. Okay, we've got meter action there. So this should be level calibration. We've got an issue here, it looks like. One channel is not calibrating properly. So that might be fun. Let's do bias. Something is going on here. I wonder what that is. What is happening right now? I'm going to zero this out, I guess, and shut that off, and we'll see if we can figure out what the deal is through the T100 software. Let's set that up now, because I got to do the speed calibration and all that good stuff yet. Okay, I'm ready to go here for a wow and flutter and speed calibration test thing, so let's do it. Power it on and testing now. Wait till it settles. Well, these are not numbers I would like to see. What is the deal with that? 0.06, that should not be happening with this particular motor. Let me see if I can dial in the speed though. I think I'm happy with that for now. I am not happy with the numbers, but they are coming down. It's just, I don't know. I did notice that the supply side flywheel was very pitted, and that is to a point that polishing them would be absolutely no use whatsoever. So yeah, it could be just the condition of the flywheels, could be the fact that this new belt hasn't had time to break in yet. I'm hoping this will get lower in time. Quartz locking likely will not help it. Whatever, that's fine. I'm relatively happy with this. Yes, it is kind of working its way down now, 0.05%. I'm inclined to leave it be for now. Didn't really see any big spikes down in the frequency domain chart to really worry about, but I did see that it's very possibly flywheel and belt related, so I'm just not going to worry about it for now. What I want to do right now, though, is let's see, let's close this, go over to the scope, and we will do the white noise stuff, because I am concerned about the test tone generator in this. Is it the test tone generator, or is it something else causing the calibration to not work? So I'm in the source monitor now, and I guess I should get some levels going here. Master record levels at 5, and I'm just kind of dialing in the fine adjustments now to get it to -20. I'm concerned that there could be a channel out in the record amplifier. That would explain the issue we were having. We'll go back to tape and we will record. Okay, yeah, we got a channel missing, it looks like. According to this. And levels are extremely low on both channels. So record amplifier alignment is required. And frequency response is kind of poor as well. I'm just setting the bias to get me the best line here, and I am not crazy about the way this is performing right now for recording. I'm going to go in with a metal tape now. This damaged one, we'll see how it does. I'm not expecting a miracle from this, but we'll run this one and see. I think I might have gotten a used up old Kenwood here. It's kind of what I'm thinking. Yes, this is abysmal performance. I've got the bias all the way down on the right channel now, and I'm still not getting anything more than 8 kilohertz. So I'm going to have to polish the head. I'm going to have to, well, try polishing the head. And I'm going to have to take a deep dive into the record amplifier to try and diagnose that issue with whatever the heck is going on with it. All right, folks, the heads have been polished. And I've got the metal tape back in here, and we will just see what we got. All right, here we go. Well, that didn't help any, did it? Yeah, the playback head in this is not so good, I don't think. Could be it might improve a little with alignment, but I don't know. I've got the bias all the way down on the front panel here, as you can see, and that's about as linear as I can get the frequency response on this. And obviously one channel is missing. That would be the left channel. So you guys will have to let me know what you think. Do you think I should try the Yamaha heads from the KX-930? Or no, that's not the right model. The KX-880. No, that's not the right model. That's the Kenwood from last time. KX-800U, that's the model I'm looking for. You'll have to excuse me. I'm still recovering from numerous stresses over the last week, which have now included a mouse in the ceiling. So, gotta find that little guy and get rid of him, too. So I'm going to shut the laptop off now, actually. Eject my tape. And let's see, what am I going to do now? I'm going to get my meter out. My multimeter, that is. We'll set it to ohms, and we are going to check out the heads, or the head wires. We'll see if the heads have any kind of connection back to the deck. So the recording heads plug in back here. So I need to unplug those. And we'll check both channels. I'm guessing the left channel is the white wire. $129.5 ohms. Let's see what the left channel gives us. $128. So the left channel head is good, or the left channel from the head is good, the record head. So the issue is not the heads. So I'm going to have to take a deep dive into this deck and figure out exactly where that signal's getting lost. Which I will do off camera, because that is going to be tedious. I will let you know what I find momentarily. I have made a little bit of progress on this. Still haven't found the issue, but I have done a lot of ruling out already. And what I can tell you is the signal's going into and out of the encoder board properly. Actually, that's not it. That's the playback board. That's the encoder board. Or rather, that's the decoder. That's the encoder. Anyway, signal's going in and out of there. Signal's coming in and out of the buffer down here. And it's making it all the way to this board here, which is the level and bias adjustments. And I observed that the signal was going into this potentiometer, but not coming out of it. So what I did was I pulled it apart. First off, it's not serviceable. And second off, it's not bad. So that wasn't the issue, because I actually swapped those two potentiometers around for left and right, and the problem stayed the same. So from there, I disconnected these two resistors, thinking it was maybe pulling the signal down. It's not those, but the signal is getting pulled down. I'll see if I can find something to point with here. Let's see, signal comes in on this pin right here for the left channel and comes out here. And what I did was I desoldered this center pin here, and then the center pin goes all the way to that output right there that I mentioned. Anyway, I desoldered that, And I found that once I desoldered that, I got signal coming out of the potentiometer finally. So it's not the potentiometer, never was. So the only thing I can think is that the problem is in here, because this is the next place the signal goes. So I'm going to be delving into this tomorrow, I think, because it's going to probably take me a whole day to track this down from here if it's on this board. Frustrating. But, one thing I should mention is, even though the frequency response was bad, I haven't aligned the azimuth on this thing yet, so we're still going to give it another shot to redeem itself there. Anyway, I will look into this circuit and see what I can find. Well, folks, I couldn't leave this alone. As you can kind of see and hear, I'm kind of getting ready for my evening's entertainment, but I just had to get back in here and see if I could find ways to make it just a little bit better before I put it away for the day. And basically what I have done now is, first, the FRSP 8.97 has been removed from this. It's got the original belt back. I was able to clean it up significantly with acetone, and it's not quite as grippy as I'd like it to be, but it's doing better. But the real story is the wound flutter is now down to 0.045%, which is more than acceptable for this deck, and for me. So I'm going to leave that belt in it. Now, another thing I did was I took my white noise tape here, and I used it to calibrate the playback trim on this deck. It's back in here around that area. And what that does is it calibrates the 10 kilohertz playback levels on this deck. But before that, I went ahead and aligned the azimuth. It wasn't that far off at all, so can't use that as an excuse for the treble response. But as of right now, thanks to this tape, the deck is now perfectly flat to 10 kilohertz. But that's not obviously good enough for me, so what I'm probably going to do tomorrow, in addition to trying to find the issue with the recording amplifier, I'll probably take the transport back out and just make sure the head tilt is fine, because I suspect there might be an issue there. So I'm just going to make sure and rule that out to see what's going on with that. If it's not a head tilt issue, this deck may be recording well enough for my purposes as is, so in that case it would not get a new head, but I will have to make that determination off camera after the video's done. Remember, we have to get back in here to quartz lock this thing anyway, so there will be plenty of time for me to decide whether or not it's going to get the Yamaha heads or not. I'm still not sure about that. I don't know if I want to do it, but I likely will not do it if this thing records well enough to do vaporwave for me. All right, folks, getting after this early in the morning, and I have found the problem. The problem was right... Let's see, where are we? Not focused. There we go. The problem was right here. And the problem was also, if I can find it, right here. See, I used desoldering braid to get that little board off, and there must have been just a little teeny tiny whisker left on there. It was shorting out, let's see, this pin and the one next to it. So that was the problem. It is now calibrating both channels, and it appears to be working now. So I can only hope so, because dealing with that board is a just gigantic nightmare. So I'm going to set you up here while I put this thing back down. You can actually leave the back panel attached on these. It's not the easiest thing, but that's the best way to do it if you don't want to deal with that ground wire that broke off for me. You just got to leave the this screw, this screw, this screw, and this screw loose, and then remove the ones along the bottom and side here, and then you can remove that with the rest of the unit. So anyway, I'm done with this, so I can tighten all these screws back, and I don't have to take this off again. Now with regards to the frequency response, you're going to notice down on the playback board that I have now removed 2 of my bipolar capacitors. I now have UKZ parts down in here. There's a good reason for that. I think that might be contributing to the frequency response issues, and I'll show you why I believe that. Oh, I got reflections in the of the lights here. Okay, now maybe we can see this. This is the playback amp unit right here. The signal going in comes in through CN4 and CN5 right there. Pin 2 on CN4 is the playback in for left, and pin 1 is for right. And what you can see is right as the signal comes in directly from the heads, by the way, this is exactly where the heads plug in. Or connect anyway. They don't plug in there because of the way the deck is, but whatever. Anyway, the signal goes right from there to C33, and that is one of the bipolar capacitors I put in there. And I could see that causing a problem there because they might be using this for DC blocking or some such, or bipolar would just throw the circuit off too much, so I have now replaced those with UKZ parts. And when you think back to what I did with the Yamaha KX-1000, how I changed one of the capacitors in there for better frequency response on the damaged playback head, the capacitor I changed on the Yamaha in the circuit is exactly where this one is right here. So yes, I could see that causing the frequency response issues. And I'll tell you what, now that the UKZ parts are in there, it does sound a little brighter, but that could be psychosomatic or some such. So we're going to have to get back into the laptop and check the frequency response again and see if it's any better. If it's no better, then, well, it's got to be the heads at that point, because I can't think of anything else that would cause it. The rest of these bipolar caps, they're staying in place. They wouldn't cause the frequency response issues, so whatever. But yes, it does sound great for playback, at least, so hopefully it's better now. We'll find out. All right, folks, shall we try this again and see if we can get any more high frequencies out of this thing? I think that we shall. I've got a normal bias tape in there right now. I've already got it set up over here. No issues with here anymore that I can find. So we'll just have to see how this does. Now, since I went ahead and replaced those bipolar caps with the polar ones that the circuit calls for, we're probably going to have to adjust the 10 kilohertz play trim again, which we'll do first, which will involve me using my white noise tape made on the GXZ-9100, just in case you wanted to know about that. So we'll get in on the T100 software here, and we'll start getting this set up. Let me see here. What do I need to do? Well, first I need to get this tape out of it for a minute, just so we can set this up. The white noise tape is going in now. And I've got my calibration screwdriver. Actually, I should show you where those adjustments are. It's right down there. Easy enough to find. So that's what I will be tweaking on in order to get this lined up. If it needs lining up. So let's find out. Well, that's not much better, so there must be some other issue beyond the capacitors. In fact, that's really no better. So I might have to be figuring this out off camera, because, oh, that controls all the way up. Okay, you can see which channel I'm adjusting now, because it's coming down to the floor. Okay, yeah, that's about the best I can get out of it, I guess. That's unfortunate, because the deck actually sounds really good the way it is now. But let's get the normal bias tape back in there, and we'll see what we can see for this. Okay, we need to come down to -20. There we are. And I'm tweaking the fine-tuning level controls. There we go. And as you can see, the amplifier has got a pretty much flat frequency response up to 20 kilohertz here. So if the transport's working, it should look good. But I'm going over to the tape monitor here and recording. Now remember, this could be only the playback head causing this. Got a little bit of a channel imbalance here. I'll have to do some tweaking off camera. I want to do a full calibration anyway on this thing, if I can find the time for it. But that was normal bias. We'll try a chrome tape here. I just so happen to have one of these. It's a used one, so I don't know how good it's going to be. But I'll show you the process of calibrating this. We'll go to, I think they want bias first, and then level. I'm not sure. But we'll get this started. And let's see, they want 0 decibels on the meter. Which is right there. Now we'll do level. And I think they want +1 here, which would be the Dolby mark, I'm guessing. Just like that. Now we'll go over here and we'll see the frequency response of chrome. This will help us rule out whether or not there's some kind of a circuit issue with the metal bias or not, or metal and chrome as it were. But like I said, I want to do a full calibration anyway. Now, I no longer think that there are any head geometry issues. Geometry, yes, that's what I wanted to say. If there were a head tilt issue, my white noise tape would have caught it, because you would have seen channel imbalances between the two channels. But no, they were exactly in agreement with one another. So I don't think the head tilt is a problem. And I know I checked it anyway. I just kind of forgot I checked it. So either the heads are worn, or there's an electronics problem, or I don't know. Could be either one. Let's record and see what we get out of this. We're in the leader right now, and here it comes. Yeah, still rolling off right at 10 kilohertz. I don't like that. So we'll try one of the Sony Metal SRs yet. I know this deck has trouble calibrating the Sony Metal SRs, but we're going to try it anyway. Let's see. Let's do this again, shall we? Okay. Now remember, these tapes are kind of not so good, these metal SRs, because they're used. That's the best I can do with this one. Okay, and level is still all right. So let's go over here again, and we'll just take one quick look here and see what we got. Yeah, metal bias is not so good with this tape. But yeah, there's clearly still an issue with the frequency response of this deck. I'm not going to worry about it right now. Like I said, it could be only... Why is my camera gimbal so twitchy right now? I don't know. Like I said, the recording head might actually be just fine while the playback head is got something going on with it like the Yamaha KX-1000 did. Hello, Box Elder Bug! Would you like to see my vacuum cleaner? Sure you would! Just a second, guys. As I was saying before we were so rudely interrupted by one of the 3 billion bugs I've been seeing around the house this fall, there could just be an issue with only the playback head, so I'm not going to worry about this right now. It's not ready for a record and play test yet. I want to try to get some more high frequency response out of it before I do that. But remember, there's at least one more video planned on this deck. We are still going to be quartz locking it. Now that the wow and flutter is down to 0.045%, I'm very happy with that number. So, yes, there might be some more updates in the next video with the quartz lock stuff on the high frequency issues that it has. I don't know if it's going to involve me replacing the head with that Yamaha head from the KX-800U or not. You guys will have to let me know what you think about that. Most likely I will try the capacitor trick again. Like, obviously the two UKZ parts didn't do a thing for this, so the next thing to try would be the other capacitors of the type I changed out in the Yamaha. Anyway, I'm going to call this deck done from here, at least this video. And I'm not exactly sure what's coming next week. I might be taking a week off just because this has been such a stressful week for me. I kind of need the break. So you guys let me know what you think about this deck. It's working extremely well. Oh, by the way, I should mention that it's very likely an FRSP 9.2 belt would work better for the Intercapstan belt on this one. I've noticed that sometimes these Sankyo transports respond better to the 9.2s on tape heads than the 8.97s, but I don't have those belts, so I can't try one. I do have some incoming, but only a couple of them. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video, whenever that is. Take care.